I hear these interviews and these podcasts about people having to learn to, manage their Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and TikTok and I don't even know what they all are, WhatsApp and what's amazing is, and I get it, I understand addiction. I understand that this is an addiction, but and I'm not on any of them. I do advertise on one of them, but I don't go on any of them literally at all. But what's amazing is not to have. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of judgment in the sense that people are talking like it's water or oxygen. And I think it's because they've been taught to believe it is, or they've been taught to believe that if they don't go on and see. But what's so interesting to me is, and I know you guys know this, so it's not as if I'm saying this to you and you're like, oh wow, that's great insight. But not having any, addictions like that specifically, it's interesting how when you're not part of it, you can just see like those are all commercials, right? Those are people who are posting the best side of them, right? What people want them to to see. Right? They're saying, look at me, love me, like me more than I like me or I love me. And it's so dangerous and it's so ugly and it's just an odd thing, right? There's no TV in my house. There's very few screens. My kids don't have screens. They have tablets that stay in a drawer. They get 3 hours of screen time a week. There's no video games. And I'm not being self righteous about this, but I talk to parents or parents hear that there's none of this in my house. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, I'm the parent in the house and there's no video games in our house. So there's nothing to fight about, right? It's a filter, right? There's a filter. It's like, that's not allowed. And what I notice is people allow so much into their life, right? I mean, they really disrespect their time. It's really amazing how poorly people treat their time. And attention is a subset of time. And I'm going through this interesting phase where I'm focusing I'm focusing back on training. I'm going back to training from the standpoint of I've been in business since 1998, so this is my 21st year. And it's interesting how people treat me like they treat their money. And what I mean by that is if someone treats their money badly, I can guarantee you if I set a call with them, they're going to be late or they're going to forget, right? It's all the same. And I just have two things I want to show you. I mean, these two things both come with a price chart. It's really interesting because we don't know how to verify information. We've never been trained to filter out the BS and the noise. And because we haven't been trained, the amount that our filters let in is literally making us poorer and driving us crazy and creating horrible sleep for us. And so I have two examples from someone I rarely talk about. It's from Jamie Dimon, and this is from a tweet. I find these tweets other places other than on Twitter because I don't even go on Twitter. But Jamie Dimon cautions the 10-year treasury yield could hit 5%. It's a higher probability than most people think. All right, so let's unpack this. Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan. Yeah, he's worth about $1.4 billion, makes, I don't know, about $600,000 a week. And right where the arrow is where Jamie said that we could see 5%. Now, the price chart you're looking at is the yield of the 10-year treasury. I just want to tell you that the 5% number is not even on this chart, meaning it doesn't even go that high. And this chart goes back to basically the beginning of the bull market over 10 years ago. And he's predicting that, yeah, we could see something that's not on this chart. Well, first of all, wow, if you look at this chart and I said to you, you have to give me one of three answers. Is this trending up? Is this trending down? Or you just don't know. So it's clearly not trending up. To my brain, it's trending down. To others, they may go, well, it's a really zigzag, it's down, but at the last centimeter for all of our international listeners, the last half inch, but it's down. And yet, because he's a billionaire, and by the way, he got to be a billionaire by running a company or being a CEO of a company, not knowing which direction interest rates are going. But it gets worse. About a year later, he then says, JP Morgan is preparing for the risk of zero rates in the US. Now that's on September 10th, and yes, I did use my mocking voice. And that's where he said they're preparing for zero rates. Well, look, it's the same price chart I just showed you a minute ago, right? So again, same question, trending higher, trending lower, I don't know. Yes, it is trending lower. Okay. But does it help, especially a year after, 1 year after he says, well, they could hit this, now they could hit that. Well, no, they could hit this. I mean, the inconsistency of that and how his first one was way off. And so I impress upon how if you're having sleepless nights, or if you have more than 5 ticker symbols in your portfolio, or if you think what Jamie Dimon says, or if a billionaire says it matters, I caution you that maybe your filter is making you poorer, right? Maybe you've been taught to let all that information in. And I've shown this picture before, and this is what we're taught. This is what we're being taught, right? We're being taught that all of this stuff matters, and you got to know about it right away. And it's all important. It's all beautiful and sparkly. And look, the smartest people in the world are figuring out how to pull your attention and keep it on websites longer. Your phone is beautifully colored. There's 10,000 different colors now, right? We're being taught to be distracted. And it's costing people their lives, right? What I mean is, what are they doing with their lives? Where is their attention going? How well are they sleeping? How many ticker symbols do they have in their account? And a lot of people are coming to the conclusion that their big box advisor can't help them anymore, right? And that Monte Carlo software thing they did that said they had a 99% chance of not outliving their money, did that help them in '08 when their account got cut in half? Did it feel like, yeah, that 99% was probably a good number? It's an odd thing when these companies, air quotes, these companies, these big box advising companies, they tell you they've got a software? Like, wait, did your software let you know about the dot-com crash? Or the global financial crisis? Or the real estate crash? Or the 10 plus year largest, longest, most amazing economic boom? Okay, maybe the most amazing isn't true, but it's certainly the longest, right? It's because people haven't been trained to verify. So I'm kind of a grouch this week, and you might be able to tell. But I see these things from people who should know better, right? And with great power comes great responsibility, right? Was that Superman's dad, I believe? One of you guys certainly knows his name. I believe it was Superman's dad that said that, right? These guys have huge platforms. They shouldn't be saying these things, if anything, but they are, and people believe them because they've never been trained to filter out the BS and the garbage and the noise. And so most of you probably listen to this on the weekend. So when you think about this, what noise, ask yourself, what noise do you let in? Who do you know in your life that kind of is a time vampire? But because you maybe don't know how to protect your time, you spend more time with them. And I will just say one thing I'm really good at is not spending time with people I don't like. And sometimes I'll say to people I know, I don't like people, or which is funny because I have a lot of good friends. I love people. I have great relationships. I have great loving relationships. But what they're really saying is, yeah, he doesn't really spend time with people or suffer people, right? He protects his time, and I'm proud of that. And I want you to protect your time. I want you to have great night sleep. I want you to have very few symbols in your portfolio. That one might seem weird if you don't understand why, but when you get trained to filter out the noise and the BS, you start to go, oh my gosh, are we all in the matrix? So I appreciate you being in my world and allowing me to be a little bit grouchy. But just really think about how that time is being spent. Because most people believe, or they actually don't understand how much of their energy and life force goes to thinking about their investments and their money. And when they finally get trained, they're like, oh my gosh, I did not realize how much of my life, and maybe it wasn't even conscious, most of it isn't, was spent on this stuff. Thanks, guys. Call your kids, or if you see them, hug them, love them. Limited edition, regardless of their age. And thank you for being in my world. This is RC Peck, and this is just another step in helping you protect your portfolio and your future. Until next time, guys, take care.